is sometimes, occasionally, we're asked by buyers is what's the difference between a full set of searches and the basic mandatory searches. Now, we as at AVRillo, as experts in the field, we always recommend to clients, because if it was me, for example, I would buy a full set of searches, which are 5 searches, the mandatory ones are just 2. Now, before I explain those searches, let me explain what the consequences are. Now, when you're buying a property, in the UK system, in the law, it's called buyer beware. So it's the same principle as if you're buying a product which is much less expensive than the house purchase you're going to make, which is at least £200,000. The average house price could depend on what area you're in, from a few £100,000 to £500,000. So what you're buying is could probably be one of the most expensive things you're buying. Now, because it's buyer beware, I would recommend you take the full pack of searches, which is 5. Now, those 5 searches will look for the things within the area. It look for things like the local authority search, which are the basic ones. Look for the water and drainage search, make sure the right pipes are going to the property, etc. That's the basic one. Now, if you take those 2 out and you miss out the other 4 searches, if something goes wrong, it's buyer beware. Once you exchange contracts, you take all liability over the contract, over the property. So if those extra searches would have revealed a defect, if you've shown that defect to the seller before exchange, the seller would have either taken remedies to fix those, or you may have negotiated on the price. But if you don't take out the full searches and something comes up which could have been revealed, and it's buyer beware, you take the problem, and unfortunately that may cost you not tens of thousands but hundreds of thousands of pounds. Now, just go very briefly, the 2 basic searches are water and local authority. Local authority look at things like any planning alterations, any planning consents that the seller should have had. The full set of searches include 3 extra searches. They include the environmental contamination search. Now, for example, whether you're near an industry or not, over the number of hundreds of years, properties have been built with the areas which in the previous history may have been near factories or old leveries and things like this. Now, you'd be surprised where properties are built. So contamination sometimes takes hundreds of years to seep through the ground. If that goes through to your garden, and if something happens, unfortunately, as the buyer, you have to clear up all the environmental clean-up costs, which could run into not tens of thousands, but hundreds of thousands of pounds. That's one extra search. The 4th extra search is a chance to repair. Now, if you live in a vicinity of a Church of England, which unfortunately can be actually very close to you, which is a good thing if you want a church near you, but from a point of view of liability-wise, it was called chance to repair. A lot of these old churches have a repair obligation that if you live within the vicinity of the church or parish, if the church has to have repairs, then you have to pay part for those repairs. And again, that can be very expensive, an expense which a chancel search would have revealed for you, and then you can negotiate on the price if you wanted to. And the last thing that we do in a full search, the 5th one, is a flood search. Now again, especially these days with insurance liabilities, insurance responsibilities are less and less, a flood search is crucial. You don't have to live near a river to have a flood search, because flood, it doesn't have to be just for a river. It can be the excess water and rain when it's with the drains when they overflow. So you can get some drains in certain areas which are prone to this. And again, what you don't want is a flooded property without knowing about it. And again, those 3 extra searches, which we call a full pack of searches, what we recommend for you to go. The price difference between is minimal, is a couple of £100, but for that couple of £100, you actually can save hundreds of thousands of pounds. So we definitely recommend the 5 searches, but the choice is yours. Our job for you is to look after you as best we can, and our advice always go for the 5, but you are the buyer, it's your choice. Now, the other thing you do with AVRillo, one thing we do for you, if you take out 5 searches, we give you a couple of extra benefits. If your case goes abortive or falls through, we'll actually pay for free for an extra set of searches for you. Okay, that's just goodwill for us to encourage you to do the right thing. But again, you don't have to take out the 5 searches. If you do, you get a free extra set of searches for free.